Today, we are going to be talking about the most insane, dangerous poisonings in the entire world. These are some that you might not even know exist, some you might know, but actually don't expect to be on this list. I know. But today, we really got to go over the most dangerous symptoms of your entire life. These are actually some of the worst poisonings you can have, and some of the most dumbest ones, because on some of these, you're going to be like, why would you even do that? Okay, like, why would you even think to do any of these poisonings? Like, these happen for your dumbness, alright? So don't try any of these after watching this video. You might have done this and not have had anything wrong with you, and that's okay. It's just a matter of time before things like this start to happen. As I said, the most insane, dangerous poisonings from least to most dangerous, insane, to least insane and dangerous. So these are ones you should pretty much look out for because these are pretty much the most dangerous symptoms. Number 4 is soap poisoning. So this is basically all going to be the soap poisoning, symptoms of soap poisoning. These will determine. The product is also one that you might have to determine to see which one you have. So certain type of products of soap is non-toxic or toxic. I mean, they're all really toxic, but some are less than more. Some are less dangerous and toxic than others. So it all depends on the product that you're using that you digested, how much a person has swallowed or inhaled, because the less they swallowed, it's like if they didn't swallow any, like that much, like just like a tiny bit, then they won't have too many bad symptoms, maybe like diarrhea and vomiting, but not any of these other ones, or inhaled. How many contact there was with the product. So it also determines how much contact, like how much minutes they were around that specific product. And symptoms of soap poisoning may include difficulty breathing, swelling of the throat, lips, and tongue, which this all determines. If these right here are symptoms of anaphylactic shock, because although you use the soap on your body, soap that are used on the body or any soap are not supposed to be inhaled or swallowed, so therefore you could have allergic reaction to it, which will cause these. So chemical burns on the skin, vision loss if the soap product has burned the eyes. Gastrointestinal symptoms include vomiting repeatedly or with blood, burns to the food pipe, severe stomach pain, and low blood pressure is caused by eating or getting soap in your mouth. I put that there. These are the symptoms. So if you have low blood pressure or any of these symptoms with swallowing soap, then you have soap poisoning. Number 3 is poisoning. I meant to put poisoning. Poisoning that results from exposure to any number of forms of cyanide. Cyanide is one of the most, if not the most dangerous form of poisoning you could possibly ever experience in your entire life. It is super dangerous. Early symptoms include headache, dizziness, fast heart rate, shortness of breath, and vomiting. This phase may then be followed by seizures, slow heart rate, low blood pressure, loss of consciousness. So if you have seizures, slow heart rate, low blood pressure, and loss of consciousness, these are all next term symptoms. So these are not ones you automatically will get, but if this continues, the phase continues, then symptoms, other ones, the ones you mainly get at the beginning, will then phase into the following symptoms such as seizures, slow heart rate, low blood pressure, loss of consciousness. I have no idea. I just did that. Am I dying? I don't think I am. I think I'll be good. The thing is, I had Prozac, which is my anxiety medication. I had caffeine with it because I tried Starbucks for the first time today. I liked it. I got a caramel ribbon caramel frappuccino thing, and it has caffeine in it. And I have my ADHD medicine, which I can't have caffeine with it, and I can't have caffeine with my Prozac. So I'm hoping everything will go good. My mom thinks everything will, and everyone I live with. So yeah. Symptoms of it. Early symptoms include headaches, dizziness, fast heart rate, shortness of breath, and vomiting. This phase may then be followed by seizures, slow heart rate, low blood pressure, loss of consciousness. I hate when they put medical conditions on here, but they don't put like a big list of symptoms, or I have to basically copy and paste all the other ones which we had in this slide. So yeah, symptoms of it, you can see it's really, really dangerous. So number 2 is theobromine poisoning. So too much chocolate ingested, such as an overdose, and is amounted to 86 chocolate bars. So if you have enough chocolate that amounts to 86 chocolate bars, you're insane. Because I know you might be a chocolate fanatic, you might want to try to eat as much chocolate as you can, but it can cause you to go into an overdose and kill you. So if you don't want your life to end, then don't try this, because it's horrible. I've never tried it, but I could just tell you, 86 chocolate bars, you're definitely going to get diabetes. I'm just saying. So it's amounted to 86 chocolate bars. It's super dangerous to have. Theobromine, you don't really expect to be poisoning because it's in chocolate. But for dogs, it's automatically poisonous. It will kill them in like a couple of hours. For humans, it's not dangerous unless you have too much of it, which is 86 chocolate bars worth of chocolate. So if you have either just 86 big chocolate bars, or you have enough chocolate syrup or whatever to equal 86 chocolate bars, you will go into theobromine poisoning, which will kill you by causing many symptoms that you didn't even think that something like this could cause. Symptoms which contain vomiting, which is, of course, because you're eating 86 chocolate bars, of course you're going to vomit no matter what. Diarrhea, if you have too much chocolate, especially if you have a poisoning in your body, it will automatically, you could see by every single one of these, you could see, not this one, but you could see here, on this one, you could see here, thought it said it. Well, look, this can also cause diarrhea, alright? This can cause diarrhea. Like everything, I think any type of poisoning will cause diarrhea because it infects the stomach. And diarrhea happens when you have a stomach infection. Just in general, if your food don't agree with you, you can have it. So diarrhea is very common to have. Don't worry about it. But if it's part of this, then worry. Nausea, which means like feeling like you're gonna throw up. Restlessness. And increased urination. So increased urination is probably to get rid of all the excess, poisoning in your body. Signs can ultimately progress to fatal cardiac arrhythmia. So a fast heartbeat, maybe ventricular tachycardia, which is like a heartbeat of 180. When it goes from 80 to 180 in like less than a second, that's cardiac arrhythmia. It's fatal. Because not all cardiac arrhythmias are fatal, but if they're caused by a poisoning, that's one thing. Caused by this poisoning, that's one thing. So cardiac arrhythmias, they may call that ventricular tachycardia, which is like the worst type of tachycardia to have. It's like one of the late stages of tachycardia itself. And seizures. So if you have seizures and cardiac arrhythmias, it most likely will kill you because automatically right there your heart rate goes up with a seizure, and cardiac arrhythmias make your heart rate go up. So if you have those two, you could go into cardiac arrest. Number 1 is the worst, most dangerous poisoning you could possibly get. And I think we all know where this is going to head. It's number 1 is water poisoning. Everyone's saying you can't die from water. Well, you're right, but you're wrong, okay? You're wrong. So, water intoxication, also known as water poisoning, also known as hyperhydration, overhydration, or water toxemia, is a potentially fatal disturbance in brain functions that results when the normal balance of electrolytes in the body is pushed outside safe limits by excess water intake. There's once a girl, her name was Jennifer Strange. No, it's Jennifer Strange, not Jessica. Jennifer Strange. She was gonna get her son a Wii by doing a challenge known as Hold Your Wii, which means hold your pee for a Wii. And back then, those used to be very popular gaming systems, as now we have PS5s and all them, which are way better. But it always feels good to be having a childhood thing. I never had one. But she's going to try doing something nice for her son by getting him a Wii, by holding in her Wii. She had to chug multiple water bottles. So she did. She cannot pee, because if she would have peed, she probably would have died from this. So peeing gets rid of all the excess water inside of you. So if you have to go pee and you've already drank a lot of water, that could potentially save you from going into a very, very, very fatal ending of your life. Okay, this is a very fatal poisoning one. It's probably the most poisonous poisons ever. It's like water you wouldn't really think has a poison because you need water to survive. But if you have too much, which is 3 to 4 liters, which is almost an entire gallon of water, you may die. So basically, the story, how she goes, is she was just drinking the water. She was okay, but she ended up getting a terrible stomach ache and a terrible headache. A couple hours later, she ended up having seizures, and she ends up dying because her brain, and she was having the headache, her headache was actually caused by her brain swelling. So you have too much water, the brain cells start to swell, your skull starts to swell, your brain starts to swell, and it kind of pushes against the skull. So your brain is basically, the cells are swelling, which causes the brain to swell. And when that happens, you're basically toast unless you get emergency care. Basically, her entire intracranial pressure went up. Basically, her skull pressure, her brain's pressure, all of that pressure went up. So intracranial pressure means that the cerebrospinal fluid and all the fluid around your brain starts to increase. The fluid around there, the pressure of that fluid starts to increase, which causes very bad brain swelling. And the only way I think she could have gotten help if she got a drill into her head, because that relieves the pressure from the fluid. But she didn't get that because she didn't think that what she had was going to kill her that night, and it ended up killing her from brain swelling. So water poisoning, she ended up dying from it. So that's I just want you guys to know. Don't try everything you see online because it could potentially ruin your life forever. Disturbance in brain functions that result when it's out by excessive water intake. Yeah. Symptoms of the following water intoxication tend to start appearing after you consume more than 3 to 4 liters of water in a few hours. Potential symptoms include, but these are basically what they're called again, is hyperhydration, water toxemia, and water poisoning or overhydration. Head pain, so again that's because your brain is basically starting to swell. Cramping, spasms, or weakness in your muscles. Those could potentially mean a seizure in the making, seizure foreshadowing itself. Nausea or vomiting, so that could be like you feel like you're going to throw up or throw up. Dizziness and fatigue, because when you have this, you're just tired. In more severe cases, water intoxication can also cause seizures or loss of consciousness. If a person does not receive treatment, water intoxication can be fatal. Death and coma are also possible with this thing, because again, when your brain swells, you need your brain because it controls every possible system in your body. Without your brain, you would be basically fried. Death and coma, those are the other ones. So peace out, everybody. I hope you enjoyed today's video. Peace out.